Hi guys. So yesterday I was reading this book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and there I actually kind of learned few stuff. And when I look, like when I understand reinforcement learning in the same way, they kind of map each other somewhere. So this idea I felt like it was really important, which I want to share. So if you have seen a lot of reinforcement learning videos on YouTube, right? You can search like AI learns to walk, AI learns to jump, AI learns to box, something like this, right? You will see a lot of AI agents kind of learning through from zero level to level 200 or something, and progressively they learn new stuff, discard the bad thing. So one of the video I saw, I'm not able to find it. Try to find it on YouTube, but couldn't find it. So if you find this video, kindly help me in the comments. So there was a AI video where basically a reinforcement learning video where this guy was trying to make the agent learn how to walk and jump, right? So there the rule he tried, but in few like someone was crawling, some was doing like a lot of weird stuff if you see in these videos. So what he did is that he saw a lot of examples where the agent was crawling most of the time. His feet was on the ground. It was not up, right? He was not taking steps or jumping, right? So he made this hard rule in the environment that agent foot should be always above the ground, something like this hard rule, right? So the goal was to walk forward and like move forward and make sure that this foot is always up. So what happened is after some iteration, the agent instead of walking on the feet or jumping on the feet, he started crawling with his hands and made sure that the feet was up, like doing basically handstand walk kind of thing. So why this is a thing which you want to know, right? Why I'm telling you this thing, right? So in our life or in our environment, reinforcement learning kind of make like great learning, right, in our life as well. So in India, I don't know about West or other people. I think it will be pretty much similar. In India, we prioritize a lot of learning on the basis of like they optimize us to go for good marks. Like if you see the environment where the student studies, the highest marker for achievement is how much marks you got, how much grades you got, right? And goal is to make people educated, learn some, to be creative, do engineering, and this other thing. Those are the actual goals. Just like the goal of the agent in the previous story I told you was to walk, learn how to jump and this stuff, not to have some specific rule. But the way we have created our environment, we focus to like like put this hard line of marks, like you will be only getting good marks for passing the grades, then you're successful, yeah, then you're not. So what happened when you put this hard line on students, like okay, you need to have this mark or you have to be qualified for this competition, rather than learning the actual thing which will help, they try to learn stuff, try to find shortcuts, try to find some illegal way to get that marks instead of actually learning. And why it is because the system who are moderating then they are very lazy. They don't want to work, right? If I'm a reinforcement learning engineer and trying to do something, I have to do a lot of tasks. I have to make sure a lot of ground rules I put in the environment so that my agent doesn't sneak or something, do some mischievous or try to get a shortcut to do the stuff instead of actually learn the capability. Right. The same way in our environment, people are lazy, the moderators are lazy, which is basically schools, college, and even jobs and everything, right? Their marker for achievements are the numbers, the stats, right? And that's not right way of learning or not right way of successfully. You have to create a very like environment such a way that they automatically learn organically things, right? And which I kind of find that is wrong with our society. And same way, if I put this hard line, hey, you only have to get number, probably you'll cheat, probably you'll memorize and mug up and just write it. And once the paper is over, once the exam is over, you kind of forget it. And that is actually been happening this thing from decades. Only few percent of people who can have this guts, have this intuition, have came out of it. I was lucky one of them, right? But not everybody is like that. And yeah, with reinforcement I could see this kind of problems actually happening with training, right? So when you define hard rule, then you have to put lot of conditions and this whole thing while making the environment for training. Or maybe you have to change the terrain such a where they can't able possible to walk on hands or something like this. So that was the one thing which I wanted to share with you, right? So that's a very good example to learn from reinforcement learning, which you apply in your life as well. So make sure you don't go this route. A lot of people will agree and understand, oh, I know, no, and still they will follow for this marks and this name and degree, these numbers and everything, right? So yeah, they will agree. Most of people will agree to this thing, but you will not take action. You are like lost. Most of them, you are pussy. You are not very courageous enough to do that. That I can tell you. So it has been always like this. And second thing, I was kind of good learning, which I understood in reinforcement learning, which is very much applicable in our real life. And also, I learned this thing in psychosociality. So basically, when we try to learn something, maybe think like throwing a dart or playing, kicking a football or something like this, we repeat our action and we try to only remember those actions which were successful. Right? If you see the pattern, like if I'm trying to throw the dart, try to learn throw the dart, I could will throw here and there. I will not try to make that body patterns or how the neurons was fired in the brain. I don't want to make that pattern. Whenever I throw and it is successful, that pattern I want to remember. That pattern I wanted to repeat. So that way the learning takes place. So in most of the learning, we try to remember the action which led to successful and try to learn from them, try to remember and everything, and try to forget the bad examples. Like we take the feedback at that moment only, like make sure you don't repeat it. But in the longer run, we don't remember. After 1 year, I don't remember how badly I threw the dart, but only the wins we will remember mostly. Right? That's a good thing. That is how our critical brain has to work, and that also kinds of makes you positive. But in our life, right, the way I've seen a lot of people are depressed or not able to perform what they actually can do because they have ruined, they remember their worst nightmares, worst examples, right? In your life you have failed so many times, you have win sometimes, so you need to remember your wins only, right? So I've seen a lot of people failed and they will afraid to take something. Once time they failed in math. Now they, hey, math is not for me or something like this. Even approaching a girl or something like this, right? Once they do it in a wrong way, they will never remember that. Like they will remember it and never be. They will so scared or something that they will never try, right? They will do something and it will might go wrong in the first attempt and they will never have the courage to try again and they will remember it for the rest time, and that fear will be always there. Speaking, one of them. Yeah, you might have failed back then, but remember the other things, victories you have. Try again and only remember the good part. So you must somewhere you must have spoke well so that you can remember. Even with the jobs interviews and everything, yeah, you might fail, but just remember the ones which you have passed. That will bring a lot of positive and confidence to try next thing. But if you remember the your mistakes, that is not helping you, that is not helping you at all. You will be so afraid, you will be so underconfident, and that ruins the game. So over there, I think that when the book was written, they didn't knew about reinforcement learning, this kind of thing, but there have been other examples try to like make this thing understand at the same time. But when I'm learning reinforcement learning, maybe I've learned way back, but right now I'm speaking to you about this. But yeah, this kind of thing. So in reinforcement learning, we have something called discounted rewards. So over there, what happens that we discounts all the step. Like let's say AI is trying to walk or AI is trying to shoot or something, right? So they will try randomly lot of moves, and out of 100, one will be the right one. So they will assign more weights to it so that they can remember that pattern. They can remember that weights of that action, and they will try to give very less weightage to the failure ones or very zero or something, right? So no weights have been changed or tuned when the exam when the very little maybe when the agent do a bad move or something, but when they are actually in right direction, they are heavily rewarded, and that time the tuning of the weights happens the most, and they kind of adjust and they try to learn more. So like this, basically how reinforcement learning work as well, and that's where they achieve so much big, like AI is going so big right now, right? There've been so much example that is on with reinforcement learning. So over there, these agents never learn their mistakes. Only they use it feedback at that instant and move on. They don't have this big long memory that, oh, they have failed previously so back. Even there was some previous model who would remember. So basically what we come up generalization methods, dropouts, and these all kind of thing to balance those things out so that you don't remember a lot of bad stuff bad stuff from the past, your traumas, right? So yeah, move on with your mistakes and everything. I only remember the good part, try to make that thing, and that will build a lot of confidence in you. And then you can learn anything. Then you can learn anything, you can do anything. So I hope you got this learning from here. I hope you find this video beautiful. If you have any comments for me, do like it. I read them all, or even you can DM me. I love to read your DMs and all. So or anything you wanted to make video on, or any advice you need. So I will be happy to share that, or any criticism as well. So see you in the next one.
Who are you? My God! I'm gonna become stronger than anyone around!